Yo, what is going on, guys? C4RQ, penetrating eardrums, and today I'm gonna kind of go over a sort of tier list I did for everyone at the FOF. Shout out to you guys. Sort of just tier listing the players that come down. Obviously, I should have really done my research and looked at back at the challenge brackets to see like the sort of consistency. I'm gonna do it all off the top of my head, so some of the information might be incorrect, but hopefully I got most of it right. But we'll soon find out. I didn't put everyone who's come to FOF in the tier list. I put a lot of the people on the side, just mainly because either one, I don't know if they wanted to be included into the tier list just in case they feel a bit awkward, or why am I judging them, that sort of stuff, or I just can't really, by the information from the tournament play, I can't really put them anywhere in the tier list just because I haven't got any like sort of evidence or any justifications tournament wise of where to put them in the tournament. So yeah, hopefully no one takes offense to what I say about them or how I place them in tier. It's just my opinion. It's not law, not yet, to Lion Bison. But yeah, anyway, let's get straight into it. I'll start with the people that I didn't put in. I'll see if I can remember the characters that I placed for the person in my head. Quite a lot here. So we've got Paul, that is Deadwire, aka Ro. Obviously, when he's come, he's pretty much, I think the 2 times he has come, he has won it. That, in my head, obviously thought I should put him in the tier list. But if you look on the other hand, he's not come to many tournaments to lose. So it's kind of like an unfair ratio where it's, yeah, he's come twice and he's won both the times, but how many FOFs have been? So that's the only reason I left him out. Akuma, everyone's favourite troll, Justin, pretty much the same thing, although he didn't win when he came. Obviously online he's a beast, bodying everyone, whatever, but until he comes offline, I don't really think it's fair to like place him in a tier list where it's kind of based on offline, mainly offline performances and placing. We got Vega, that was for Solid Frog, I believe. He has come, I think he's come to 2. I never played him, so again the tier list is kind of based on my perception of stuff. I never played him offline. I played him online. I believe he beat me. We had 2 games, I think, and he beat me. Not taking anything away from him, but online does not count in my eyes, especially if it's only like 2 games. I didn't really get a feel of what to do and all that sort of stuff. But yep, he did beat me. But from the tournament standing, I can't remember where he placed or anything like that. Next we've got Christy, which is HBK. Unfortunately, HBK does kind of find it hard to come down tournaments. It would be great if he came down. I really wanted to put HBK in the list, but again, I don't think it's fair to place him in the list from his online performance and not his offline. We got Rufus, Jammer's training partner, aka Garbage Man. He doesn't really take the game that seriously, I guess. He's really good at fundamentals, so it would have been cool to put him in here. But again, I don't think it's really fair. He hasn't had that much tournament, well, FOF tournament experience, so. And then we got Hayachi, who is Zane. Obviously, anyone who doesn't know, Zane came to FOF and blew up some of the top heads. Literally just jumping on the game, playing his vanilla cross Tekken, Ryu and Hayachi. He blew up Wolfstead and Jammers, I believe. Then the next FOF, it didn't really work. I don't think he did too bad, but I don't think he blew up anyone. So yeah, they're all the people I put down the side. Hopefully, with you guys' input, maybe I'll drop them in there if they've got any good points to bring up. I don't mind altering it, changing it. I'm probably going to have to when I get flamed for how I've tiered myself and everyone else in there, but we'll soon find out. Like I said, guys, it's just my opinion. Let's start at the bottom. Obviously, we've got Sim. Everyone knows who Sim is. Mr. Nick, Luckbox Q. And Dudley is CT, Andrew. They basically got put high B because they don't. CT doesn't have a console, full stop. So it's not even that he doesn't have the game. He doesn't have a console, so he only really plays offline when he goes to the hog. From what I've seen, his places doesn't show that, but from what I've seen, when he does play, he can play the game. He just doesn't know how to play it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. He knows what the game's about, He just doesn't have the muscle memory to apply sort of like boost chains where he's so used to playing Street Fighter 4, for example. He doesn't do that. He goes for combos. The links are totally different, especially with Dudley. Links are very, very different. There's easier ones and there's harder ones, but you might do the one that you're used to doing from muscle memory from Street Fighter 4. They might not work in Cross Tekken, or they're just harder and there's an easy way to do it. Blah, 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 blah. So for that reason, CT's Dan in B tier, unfortunately. I know he's a very good player. He's a very good jack of all trades. He can play lots of different games, but in Cross Tekken, he kind of gets bodied a little bit. Although he doesn't normally go like 2-0, he just can't keep his head in the Cross Tekken game. And Nick, obviously, I'm putting him down there just because he's sort of a lot more newer than I am to the Cross Tekken game. I think it's only been like a couple of months, maybe 3. He's only been to a few FOFs, I believe 4. And he's picked Sim. No one really at FOF has Sim experience, to my knowledge. And he's been messing around with Raven and Renata, I believe. So yeah, it's mainly just due to not playing the game as much as everyone else. That's why I put them at B tier. They're definitely capable of grabbing wins off of people. It's just, yeah, the consistency of playing the game holds them back from beating other players. If we're going to A tier, I've got Steve for Dark Horse, Mr. Strife, and Lily for Solid Rose. Solid Rose, for the last 2 FOFs, I think, came, he was playing pretty solid. He plays, obviously, Akuma Lily. It's a really balls to the wall, all or nothing team, in my eyes. You kind of have to go in just because of Akuma's health and the damage they can do. But I feel that Solid Rose plays really conservative, so I think he respects his opponent too much because he's playing offline and he's playing us lot. Maybe he thinks that we're sort of like pros because we're playing offline or anything. But a lot of the time, I feel like if he just went in, he would get better results. But I think he overestimates and respects his opponent too much, and that leads to him losing. Especially with someone like Akuma, it's kind of like you have to go in, otherwise you're gonna get hit by something really derpy in a minute, and you can't really take it because you've got Akuma health. So that's why I put him a solid, well, just above A tier. Darkos, I could do a whole podcast on why I think Darkos is not as good as he should be, but it's mainly the same sort of reason. I think he overthinks his opponent, gives him too much credit. Like, he thinks they're going to anti-air, so he won't jump on them, and then you end up playing a grand game and losing. It's like the opponent never had to prove to you that they could anti-air you. You just assumed that they could because of their grand game. But yeah, that along with he sort of had a character crisis from the beginning, floating between Elena, Christy, Steve, Ken. He's got a really thick pocket Asuka that he never brings out. But yeah, I think a little character crisis and overestimating his opponent. When he's in the zone and he just doesn't care about the person, he normally does really well. But that doesn't happen all too often, especially at the tournament. So yeah, I put them joint. I didn't really want to put anyone in joint position, but them two I felt like they kind of suffer from the same sort of thing. Even though Darkus has been playing for a lot longer, so he's got more of sort of a gauge on his skill because he's played a lot more people than Solid Rose. But I think they're roughly about the same. Up slightly above them, I'm putting Benji, aka Fuzzy Platform. And it's not because he's MOP, it's because he's come to the game really late. Obviously, he played it back in the day, everyone did, for a certain amount of time. When he came to the game, he was relatively new. He does use Ogre. I don't want to use that as an excuse to why he's won his matches, but he has, to cut a long story short, he 2-0'd Theory. So I've got to give him props for that. And 2-0's pretty convincing. I know it was sort of like, it's sort of like going on ranked and playing someone the first time and then getting bopped and you're like, whoa, I didn't have time to download. But he did get Theory, and I think that in itself promotes him to be there, especially offline for the first time. It's like, maybe it was Theory's first time playing it, but it was his first time as well. And Benji's mentality is really good. I hope he doesn't change it. Just going ham with Ogre until someone convinces you not to. Just do the derp. Do the derp. If he gets you wins, do it. Benji's mentality and his hunger is really good. I respect it. I think it will definitely make him a stronger player. Hopefully we'll start coming back again. He has stopped. I don't think he's come to the last 2 or 3. On that reason, I wanted to drop him a little bit, but it's too late now. I should have really put him in the same category as Darkos and Solid, maybe a bit lower. I don't know. Maybe I did overthink it because he did beat Fury. My apologies. My apologies. I'm gonna leave it there for now anyway. I'll probably change it next time until Benji comes again and proves his worth. It's kind of weird me justifying putting him there. But anyway, I digress. I'll move on. Next up, we have K-Man, who plays Ryu and Law. Again, he's new to FOF. He's not new to Cross Tekken. He's new to FOF. The 2 or 3 times he's come, I'm pretty sure he's come at least semi-finals. He was in the final once with Ro. I'm pretty sure he beat Theory and Jammers in the next one. I'm not too sure. But anyway, whenever K-Man's come, he's placed really good. Online, he's got a bloody crown. He's straight up royalty, sponsored by the Queen. He's a really solid player who plays really solid characters. So a lot of gimmicks don't work on him. You can't really jump on him. He has got the reactions to do max damage with Law if you decide to think, oh, I've caught him off guard, let me jump in. No, sorry, backflip. Nah, that's 50% of your health gone. His Ryu fundamentals are really good. It's just, again, it's the experience. He's not been there that many times to FOF. From when he has come, he has definitely proved that he can mingle with the best of them. So I thought a solid S would be fair. Above him is Jammers, obviously everyone's favourite. HD Jammers. With Jammers is a bit weird. I've got my own personal views on him, but I try to keep it sort of like fair. So what I say is like a fair comment. With Jammers, I feel that his team isn't really like reflecting his skill. And by that I sort of mean in tournament he will just pick random characters. Not as in like random select, but sometimes he doesn't pick for the matchup. He has done that before. He's picked Hachi to play Wolfston and it worked and he beat him. But he kind of floats through teams in tournament. And I don't think it's to counter pick or because it's a better matchup. I just think he feels like, oh, today I feel like playing this character. Today I want to show this combo after I learned. And with that, I can't really define how good he is. I'll put him here on the tier list just because of obviously his background and the results he has had. He has won an FOF. And I can't remember if it's 2. It might be 2. He might have won 2. He's beaten Wolfston. He's also beaten Theory. He's also beaten me, obviously. He's beaten Jibs in tournament. So it's not like there's anyone that can stop him. I don't know what's holding him back from winning more often. I think it is because he's not sticking to one team. He has convinced himself and other people that he can play multiple teams. In my opinion, he's playing different characters but the same style, so it doesn't work for long, but that's my opinion. So that's why I put him in like a solid S above K-Man. Above him I put myself. I'm not doing that to kind of feel myself. I honestly think I'm around the area. I'll say I think I'm better than Jammers. I do think I'm better than Jammers. We'll have to have a look offline set to prove it if he disagrees or anyone else does. But I'll put myself there. I did think about putting myself a bit lower, mainly because of my biggest weakness is my consistency. Like I can beat people, I can win matches, but as soon as I brain fart, that's me done. That is it. I can brain fart 10 seconds into the first match, and then the rest of the time I'm just going to get demolished because I can't get over the stupidness that happened then, or me dropping my combo. I can't get over it. So the rest of my matches I'll just lose. I know that is just because of my mentality. I definitely need to play more offline. Online, I kind of don't really care. Like I'll just go in, I'll jump here and there, and I know the person can anti-air, but I don't really care. Offline, I also float between characters. I don't do it as option select. I just feel that the team that I do run normally, which is obviously Bryce and Brian, has too many bad matchups at the FOF, and I feel that I need to be able to switch out Bison when necessary, whether that be Jury or Cody. If I need to bring in Lay, just so I can have some sort of advantage, because the lack of experience I've had with Cross Tekken, I feel like I have to make up with another character to kind of balance it in my favour, or just to make it fair with everyone that's got more experience with the game. I need to bring something like sort of like what Benji's done, and bring something they're not used to, just to give me like a step up to compete on their level. But at the moment, yeah, I'm sure someone's gonna disagree with me. You're putting me 4th on the tier list, but obviously don't forget. Obviously, I know Rose really sick and he's body people. Same with Justin. It's just that I haven't placed him in there because of the FOF standings. But yeah, I've put myself just below the next person, who is Jibs. I think everyone would want to put Jibs at the top, but he just doesn't play the same as he does online when it comes to the tournaments. His online execution is ridiculous, like 98% of the time. Like, he's getting perps with Kaz. It's really strange. When he comes offline, a lot of the time he loses to himself, I'd say, where he kind of knows what's going to happen, but he just doesn't do anything about it, and he'll get hit by something random, or he will drop an easy combo, or he will drop a combo that he could just done an easy one and just won. He doesn't, I feel like he doesn't do enough perps just in the neutral, just throw it out. It doesn't hurt not doing it. It's so hard to punish, just please do it. Yeah, that's mainly the real reason. And obviously at the top we have Theory and Woolsten. I didn't want to put them joint again. I didn't want to do a joint stand-in. At first I did have Theory at the top, but I had to take in consideration the matches that Theory's lost. I think Woolsten's a lot more consistent with his placing, so it's sort of like between first and third, where Theory sometimes has a really bad day and just gets bopped. It happens very, very rarely, very, very rarely, but sometimes Theory just has a bad day. It's pretty much that simple. We get knocked into losers, then you have to fight it back. Woolsten rarely gets knocked into losers from my recollection, so I kind of had to balance it out, where I think Theory's had more wins. Woolsten's been more consistent on his placings, so I kind of just ended up putting them both at the top place. They're both really solid. Obviously, we all know that FOF. We've played them. We've had to run into them eventually. Woolsten, obviously, with Blanca Elena at the moment. People are still having trouble with quote-unquote free-frame jabs. It's not anything new, but we still lose to it. So, it's one of them things. It's like, we can't moan at him for doing it. I don't think anyone is moaning, but we can't, like, say, oh, he's only winning because of free-frame jabs. It's like, but you know it's a free-frame jab, so don't press anything. It's our fault for getting hit by it. He's throwing it out, we're getting hit by it. You don't have to press anything. You know it's free-frame, so don't try and beat it. Simple as that. Obviously, Theory, his footsies are really solid. The Chun is poking everyone out. And then, obviously, the Geef meta is ridiculous. I think he is going to try and swap Chun Geef for Chun Jin. That will be interesting. For me, I feel that it will be a disadvantage, but that's only from my perspective. I just hate Geef that much. Him picking Jin, to me, is making his team weaker to fight my team. I doubt anyone else will think that, because obviously Jin is definitely a better character than Geef. But I welcome Jin rather than Geef any day. So, yeah, that's my take on the FOF tier list for the players. Let me know what you think. Blow me up, flame me, troll me, leave some comments. It would definitely be cool to see other people do it. Well, obviously within FOF. Tell me what you think. Let everyone else know what you think. Your opinions on other players. What you think they should do to get better. Vice versa. Really be cool. I'll probably end up doing another one of these sometime down the line, and hopefully be able to add all the people I've left on the side. But until then, guys, take it easy. I'm out.